Good evening, everyone. Pretty happy today. I got a set of rear shocks for the trail bike. Got them sent down from Queensland by a company called Just Bike Spares. They're an eBay seller. These were actually suited for an RM100, around a 1977 model, but they had a 10mm eye. The guys were actually able to change all the bushing and the collar inside for me to suit a 14mm shaft. So yeah, I've got a nice strong rear end now on the bike, matching shocks, which looks pretty good. Look even better when it's when the frame and swing arms are all painted red, which I'm hoping that, what is it today? Today's Wednesday. Next Tuesday, I'm hoping to get all the paint for the bike, and then it'll just be a matter of finding a nice day when it's not too cold, and I'll be able to paint this. So very happy with the shocks. They fitted nice. I just had to clean up the pins a bit. I had to run some memory paper around them, a little bit of paint on them, and a little bit burred on the edge, because the old shockers, they ran a bush but they didn't run a collar. They didn't run a collar like these ones do. So probably, yeah, the pins just sort of burred on the ends over the years. But yeah, it's coming together, guys. This was actually the highest suspension height. Is that right? The highest suspension height. The highest suspension height of any twin shock YZ80. The previous models, so going back from YZ80 C and B, and they were 280mm, I believe. For the D, they went to 365. So yeah, big increase in suspension height on the D model. I think they were getting people ready for the E, for the monoshock. So yeah, you know, for a twin shock bike, it does sit pretty high in the rear end, and it's not one of them, you know, it does have a short swing arm, so you know, it's not like some of the 125s and 250s where the shock sort of mounted here in the middle, or 2/3 the way down the swing arm. These actually mount straight off the back, but there's still heaps of clearance there. So I'm very happy. I would have loved to have got these springs in red, but because they are off an RM, like most of the stuff, they only offered them in black or chrome, and I thought the chrome on chrome would be too much. I thought the black would just be nice to sort of break it up. You got the black seat, and there'll be other black accents like the wheel hubs and cables and things like that. So yeah, that's today's little score with the Hunter. As you can see, it's pretty much all stripped down again. I've got my Hot Rod Club meeting tomorrow night on Thursday, but this video most likely will get posted after I've been there. The panel beater's asked me to bring all the fenders down and the tank, obviously, so he can colour match, and he's going to try and get those done for me as quickly as possible. I'll probably have them back by next Thursday, and then the bike's ready to hit the road. I haven't had much success with trying to get the wiring sorted out for this rear light. I've definitely got a running light, a parking light that will come on, but as soon as you hit the brakes, the two LEDs for the license plate illumination come on as the brake light, which is not correct. Spoke to the president of the Hot Rod Club and told him what was happening. He said, oh, it's going to be an earth problem, definitely going to be an earth problem coming off those LEDs. Well, I've tried re-earthing it and I haven't had any luck. I've basically wired it the way the old fender came off, so if it was working on that and there was a good earth, there should be a good earth on the bike now. I haven't changed anything, so that doesn't particularly bother me. Once I've got all the fenders and the tank back and I bolt it all back together, I can just run it down to his place. We'll take a little bit of a look at the rear brakes, because as I said, the brakes work good, but you've got to pump the pedals several times, so I think there's still air in the system. I'm not doing something right. But yeah, so yeah, we'll try and get this wiring issue sorted out, and we'll try and get that brake bleeding pressurization problem sorted out, and then that's it. I'm not spending another cent on the goddamn thing. That's it. So it'll be back into the trail bike, and this should come up really nice now. Although it's had its modifications done to its frame, it doesn't look out of place. It doesn't look too bad. It'll be a nice bike for my sister. Easy to ride, automatic. So yeah, I'll get stuck into that over the next couple of weeks, and I'll get that finished off for her. Then I've got to go looking for a bike for myself that I can, because I don't think that one's going to take the trails too well. So yeah, I've got to find myself a bush basher, and obviously do a little bit of work on that and get that up to scratch as well. I don't want her having the better bike. And I know what this one goes like, and with this, once I fit that CDI unit up, this thing's gonna go like a rocket. So yeah, anyway, I'll leave it here for now because I haven't got anything else to tell you until I do something over the next week, and we'll pick up the video from there. Hi everyone, it's been sort of a busy week this week, so I haven't had much time to work on the bikes, but I did go out and buy another bike today. As I said, I'm doing up the trail bike, the YZ80/XR100 for my sister. So I went out and bought myself a bike today. Nothing flash, as I said, just a bush basher. This one's it's Chinese made, but I already own a Chinese road bike, so what difference does it make? I got test rode this thing. It goes really well. It's I'm not sure if it will be branded differently overseas, but it's branded as an Atomic in Australia. It's a 250. It's 5-speed, 4-stroke. The thing goes great. It's got lights on it. It's got indicators on the front. All the wiring loom for a rear brake light and indicators are still on there, so if I wanted to road reg this, I could. All the horn works. So basically everything that you would, if you wanted to get it road regged, you could. The only faults with it is it's got a leaky left-hand front fork seal. So I've contacted Atomic to see if I can get a fork seal for it. And there's one little guard that bolts up to the rear swing arm on the left-hand side. I figure I just want it. If the bike had it, then the bike's going to have it. So that's what I bought. The guy had $600 on it. I got it for $550. I've just gone over the plastics. I haven't done hardly anything to it since I got it home. I've only had it home for probably about 2.5 hours. But I've also been on the internet looking for Atomic parts on eBay and this, that and the other. So I just went over the plastics with some prep wash. He removed all the stickers that were on it, but left all the sticker residue on the the panels. So I've removed all that. So, you know, that the plastics come up pretty good. There are some little minor defects and scratches and this, that and the other. And I had a split on this left hand side, just down here. I'm not really worried about that, it won't be seen. You know, if I decide to put some contact paper on here, that'll cover that over anyway. But I've plastic welded this. I took the panel off and I actually plastic welded it, so that even though it's got the crack in it, it's not going to come apart on me, which is good. They had to do a few little bits and pieces. This cover here holds on with a rubber strap. That rubber strap was broken. Looks like somebody in the past has removed the three straps that used to be on there and just put cable ties on it. So all I did was took the broken one off this bottom part of the headlight cover, and I just put a cable tie on it. So it's cable tied on all four corners now. It's sturdy enough. Runs beautiful. It had a really stiff clutch lever on it. When I went to inspect the bike, guy didn't know why. All I did was pump a heap of WD-40 down the clutch cable, and it's moving beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That's nice. It's got these really fancy like handles on it, you know. So if you come off the bike, you know, they'll fold. I think it had bark busters on it at one time with the extra long bolts here, and I did take some clamps off the handlebars, so I think there was some bark busters on there. I don't think I'm going to need them for the type of riding I'm going to do with my sister, but I can always buy some if I want some. So the other side's a match. So yeah, 550 bucks, alloy rims, 4-stroke engine. The thing's quiet as. I'll start it up for you. Now, on startup, it's got a 2-stage choke. So that's the first stage. Second stage, it does need to be started on the choke. It's nice and quiet. I'm still getting used to how it runs, so I know at some stage, there you go, it's starting to pick up now. So I've just got to work out how long it's got to run for before I adjust the choke on it. No smoke, it runs clean as anything. It's got electronic readout. The only thing that is missing though is the speedo drive from here. All the wiring's still there. So I've made the inquiry with Atomic about the speedo drive, because I'd like to get the speedo working in case I decide to street register this. So yeah, the fork seal you can see there already. We've got a bit of oil leaking out of the fork. This is the side that's bad. Happens to be on the brake side as well, so I have to do that. And yeah, that's the guard there. The chain was way too tight when I got it home, so I've loosened it up a little bit and I've lubed it. It's very, very dry, very sort of squeaky. As you can see, I haven't washed the bike. I'm going to give it a good pressure wash during the week and give it a good detail. Go over all the plastics, you know, get out all the scratches. I'll rub this back with maybe, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000. Get it really, really smooth, and then go over it with the heat gun. Get it nice. Had a couple of little tears in the seat here. I've just stuck those flaps down. I'm not particularly worried about that, to be honest. I'll hide those spots where you you can't, you know, quite cover it in. I've got some black fabric paint, so I'll just go over that. Stuck that down with Sally's Quick Grip stuff I swear by. So yeah, it's all there. Like, if you want to get it street registered, it's got the provision for the mirror. I already have a mirror off the Hunter. So there you go. This thing is also kickstart as well. If you want to kickstart it, the guy reckons it kicks like a mule. I haven't tried to kickstart it yet, and I'm glad that it has electronic start, because I had a really bad busted foot in 2009, and I still get stress fractures in it. You know, it can be great for like a couple of months, and then all of a sudden I'm limping. I just wake up in the morning and it's like it's fractured again. So yeah, so this is the bike. It's going to look good once I've given it a good pressure wash. All the dirt and the muck and grease and everything will come off it. So I'm happy. I got my bike, $550. I actually rang Atomic. Not very helpful at all. Went down and seen the Hunter dealer, who's also an agent for Atomic but hates Atomic. Because I don't know, something really weird went down around the time that all the distributors decided to take on the Atomic bikes, and then Atomic went and changed something and sort of screwed the dealers. So they're sort of tied into contracts to distribute, but they're not getting what they want. I think it's because Atomic can sell directly to the customer, same as Hunter can sell directly to the customer. So it cuts out the dealers from ordering stuff. So anyway, I got my I had my dealings with Atomic this morning, and could see from the response I got on the phone that they weren't going to be very helpful. So I knew the Hunter dealer was also an Atomic dealer, and I went down and I saw him this morning and asked him if he would possibly have a fork seal, and he said most likely he's going to have to go through his box of seals one by one, measure up my seal against what he's got, and have a look that way. So anyway, I dismantled that part of the fork and took it down to him, because to be honest, I couldn't work out. I could get the dust seal out, but I couldn't work out how to get the internal seal out. I've never had a bike with these upside down inverted shocks before. On the like the old bikes I'm used to, the 70s and 80s bikes, they had a circlip in behind the dust boot. Take the circlip out, you pull on this, and basically the seal would just pop out. And but these are obviously different. I didn't want to damage the seal, because if I damage the seal, then he won't have a sample to be able to size up. And so I just took it down to him. I took the whole fork down to him, and I left it with him. So yeah, we're looking at a fork, getting the fork back this week. I'm going to make a chain guard for there, because I just gave up with, after that first call, I gave up asking Atomic for anything. So screw them on that. I don't know, there was one other thing I needed, but not that important. Anyway, today I went and got the paint mixed for the XR. I chose to go with this colour rather than this colour, which was my test pattern last 2 nights ago. As I said, I never prepped it properly. it was just a really, you know, rough sand, and I just wanted to see if the paint would adhere to it, and it has. It's great. Like I can bend that. It had a proper plastic undercoat primer on it. I can bend that. I got no paint flaking off. So I thought, yep, no worries, go and get some enamel paint. The guy spent ages trying to get the absolute perfect colour match to this guard. So I'm hoping that I won't even have to paint this one. Hoping I won't have to paint it, which would be great. He's written a code and everything down on the side here. Red match, Wattle, which is a fairly good brand. I imagine Wattle's worldwide. Could be wrong, but you know, it's good paint. That was 45 bucks for a litre. At least I got the correct paint now. I had to go out and buy, put it in my cupboard now, but yeah, another bottle of prep watch and some thinners. They had that on special actually for 19 bucks. Just a multi-purpose general thinners, but it's 4 litres, so no problem. What else? Oh, I scuffed this back just with some 2000. I've got to get some undercoat for it. I've actually run out now, so I've damn it, I've got to go and buy another can of undercoat just to do the number plate. But that's the way it goes. You know, I might end up doing some plastics on this anyway, so at least I'll have the undercoat if I do anything on that. Also, these things, rubbed all these back today with 320. Got out all the little marks, the scratches, everything. Got everything out of it today. Rubbed it back in some places so hard to get the little minor defects out of it that I had to shoot the panels and the tank again with some high fill. Simply because I ran out of the grey undercoat, but the high fill is actually a primer too, so it'll be fine. And these Suzuki tanks have a low. This whole area here where the decal sits is a real low area. It curves here, so it won't matter if that's got a bit of high fill on it. But yeah. It was very, very smooth when I rubbed it down with that 320, and then I went over it with 2000 just to see what it would be like, and it came up really good. There's no real bad spots in there. So yeah. So all I got to do now is just. I've only just painted these, so I'm going to hit these with some 2000. Got a couple of sheets there today. I'll hit these with some 2000 and just that'll be it. They'll be ready for paint, all of them. So we're not that far away from painting, guys. We're probably only a couple of days away. What else did I do today? Oh, I got 4 litres of oil, Shell oil, which will do all the bikes because they're all 4-stroke. So I can do an oil change on the Hunter, I can do one on the Atomic, and I can do one on the little CT110 motor. The oil's good in this, but it has been sitting around now for a couple of years, so you know, won't hurt to change it. So I've done that. Been a busy day today. Been a busy day. Had to order a couple of LPG injectors for my Ford Territory SUV. That's been a nightmare. I've been working on that since September last year with a gas problem. We think replacing injectors 1 and 6 will fix the problem. $120 a piece, and I've still got to fit them. So, but I got to get the mechanic to do it because he's got the software program for the Apollo system. So there's going to be more money there. So by the time I'm done, probably having bought the injectors and him working on it, probably another another $500 will up. So I'll be glad when that's when that little problem's out of the way. What else did I get done today? I'm trying to think. I've just been running all over the place today. Haven't had any luck with obtaining a mounting bush for the Hunter fuel tank. I sort of got screwed by the Hunter themselves. I contacted them to see if they had them available, and they said they did. They didn't have them on their website, so he obviously took a photo straight away, put them up on the website, put a price there, and we discussed him sending them down in an envelope, just a normal envelope, cost $1. They're such a small thing, they're only worth $3.60 each. Really, I only needed one. But when I actually opened up an account with Hunter, I basically put, I thought I'll grab 2 of them, I'll put them in the shopping cart. Went to pay for it, went to pay via PayPal, and then it's telling me $15 airbag or for like $14 parcel post, and it's like, hang on, I can't go any further. So I contacted him the next day and I said, mate, I can't go any further with the checkout because it's saying $15. He goes, yes, that's right. I said, no, hang on, you discussed putting these in an envelope for $2 for me because they were such a small item, they could go through the mail in an envelope, and now you're telling me that you want me to pay $15, which is like nearly 5 times more than the item. And he goes, yep. So I said, well, stick it up your ass. So so I still don't have a grommet for the tank, but I have a couple of things that might do it. I've got let's have a look. This was one good one off that RM tank there, but I ended up ordering 2 new ones from Mick Hone, and this was the spare, so this might get me out of trouble. And if not, I've got sort of some odd bod stuff here which I can probably make work, to be honest. Put them back to back either side of the tank, and that will work as a grommet too. So I'm not very happy with Hunter. Spent like over $1,000 on parts which the Hunter dealer here in Victoria would have ordered from Hunter in Sydney. Spent $1,000 with him in the last about a month, yeah. And he won't put a single grommet in an envelope and post it. He wants $15. So that's just bad customer service, and I don't care who knows it. I'll put it all over all over YouTube. Bad luck. Bad luck. You're not going to do the right thing by your customers, and your distributors deserve to be exposed. So that's all I got today. I'll have some more updates during the week. Probably have the fork back, have the bike reassembled, the atomic, have that assembled. If we get a nice day on the weekend, most likely I'm gonna paint the plastics, but I would prefer to spray the frame first, paint the frame first. One thing I forgot to do was order a kickstand for the bike, but I actually did that. When did I do that? I did that on Sunday night. It got posted yesterday, so I'll probably be expecting it sometime, I don't know, maybe tomorrow, Wednesday or Thursday. It's only coming locally. Managed to get that with the bolt and spring for $15. 300mm long, which I believe was the standard length for that type of bike. So the only thing I have to do is weld a tab onto the frame, which I'm sort of annoyed about because that bike's already in that black undercoat primer, and I've got to go grinding it off and bend up a bracket. But you know, better doing it now than when the bike's painted. So yeah, should have that in the next couple of days. So by the middle of next week, there's going to be lots of stuff to share on the in a video, and I'm going to leave it here for now, guys, because I'll just keep rambling on. See you later.